a case study with Myers Industries and John Galt Solutions. Jeff Baker is Senior Vice President of Shared Services with Myers Industries. Hello, Jeff.
Hello.
Matt Hoffman is Vice President of Product and Industry Solutions with John Galt Solutions. Hello, Matt.
Hello, and thank you for having us.
Thanks for both of you for being with me today. Jeff, tell me about Myers. Who are you?
Yeah, thanks, Bob. I appreciate that. We're a diversified plastics and metal material handling company. We're based in Akron, Ohio. We make small, large, and small plastic containers. Make fuel and water tanks, portable water fuel tanks. Do some area plastic. These are all in the plastic area. We also do some plastic mats for construction, stadium turf, and then also we're in the metal safety cabinet, steel card area.
So, what was the key challenge that your company faced that, that led to this engagement we're about to talk about?
Yeah, thank you. I was brought in at the tail end of 2020, to work on our approach for supply chain, and there was really two major challenges that we had. Through acquisitions, we have a very different business groups. We have 6 different business groups here, and they all operated in an independent way. So there was no consistency within our supply chain approach or best practices. Also, within those 6 business units, we had multiple ERP systems, which impacted our visibility to performance, because of all the different independent ERP systems. So those were the 2 major challenges we had.
And why did you pick John Galt Solutions to help you with this?
Yeah, a couple of reasons we picked it. They have a very good dashboard. So once you get the tool up and running, the dashboard is really good. That provides business visibility. Also, to drive the process, supply chain process, they've got some good process tools that work from a demand planning as well as an inventory planning. Also, working with the Atlas tool allowed us to get better visibility into longer horizons. From a demand plan perspective, 24 months, which also benefited us from a supply perspective as well. And then I think the last point is that the tool itself is an intuitive tool, and then it also allowed us, to ability to implement the tool. So could we implement the tool in an effective way? And as we've implemented the tool, it's probably taken us about 6 months to get the tool up and running from a supply and demand side. So it's been, with the support of John Galt, the Atlas Plan tool has been pretty effective and intuitive for us.
We'll talk about that in a moment, but I do want to get to Matt for a moment and just ask you how John Galt saw this as a fit with Myers in terms of the specific challenges that Myers brought to the table. Was this within your wheelhouse? Is this something with which you were familiar with doing?
Absolutely. So we see a lot of companies come to us through acquisitions or distributed planning teams. And frankly, most companies anymore have a number of different ERPs, systems that they're bringing data in, or bringing data in from a WMS or other parties. And so that integration, being able to put everything together and have one combined plan, is something that we see with a lot of our customers and felt very confident with.
So Jeff, you brought on John Galt. Tell me a little bit about the implementation. What was involved in bringing that solution into the company?
Yeah, we implemented it in a phased approach. So we implemented business by business. So I mentioned that we had 6 different businesses. And then we also implemented it within the technology itself, implemented, the demand planning first, working within a particular business. We implemented the demand planning, then went to the supply and inventory planning. And then finally, the optimization phase of it, getting things such as the dashboard set up. Those are really how we implemented it, within that phased approach.
Matt, how did the implementation go from your standpoint as the vendor bringing this to Myers?
Absolutely. I think it went very smoothly. So we had great participation from multiple team members across each of the business units. So each of them had input, which also improved adoption because they were all engaged in design sessions. And then we used a sprint approach where we had done the basics of the configuration, walked through it, had it vetted through the people that were going to be using it, got that immediate feedback, and had them in the solution quickly. So from a planner perspective, getting that business needs review and the adoption was great. And we had a great team on the IT side getting us the data that we needed as well.
So multiple people involved. Did it pretty much go as you expected it to go, Jeff?
Yeah, like I said, it's went good. I mean, I think, like I said, our average implementation per business is 6 months. And then, once we got it up and running, it's been running fine. And a lot of support from the Atlas team as well, or John
Okay,
Galt team.
so it's in place. It's up and running today. Jeff, what are the benefits that you've derived from this engagement with John Galt?
Yeah. So, one is just the uniform supply chain view across platforms. So as we started the conversation, we had multiple ERPs, multiple processes. So it's brought a uniform approach to our supply chain network, using the Atlas technology. The other part is, with that technology, we're now driving dashboards that drive the organization across similar metrics for our supply chain. And I think the third point is it started to align our organization from an operation standpoint, and then also from our finance organization. So we're working toward one integrated business plan.
Mm-hmm. You told me about how much you operated along multiple markets and multiple areas. Did this help you to kind of bring all that together, kind of centralize it and integrate it? Do you feel like you have more of a handle on it than you used to?
Oh, 100%. I mean, we've standardized a lot of our processes, through using the technology, and driving consistency within our processes, and then just the overall visibility that we have to our supply chain, where before we didn't have that visibility, because we're working on multiple ERP systems and bringing everything together in one system.
Matt, what did you see as the benefits that you brought to them as a result of this implementation?
Sure. I think first of all was being able to model a number of different types of businesses that did different products and had different customers, different channels of sales, and had some different elements in planning. And being able to get all of them into one planning solution was huge. And then to support the growth, one of the things that the Myers team came with us was how much capacity do we need, and can we support the growth? So they needed better long-term forecasts and the ability to take advantage of those legacy plants. And the team was able to get that rolled out very quickly and take advantage.
So where are we right now, Jeff, with regard to Myers Industries and its attempts to achieve what you have through this particular solution? How might you continue to collaborate? What more might you want from John Galt Solutions in the future that would even create even greater improvements in your supply chain?
Yeah, the thing that we've been speaking to John Galt within the tool, the Atlas Plane tool, there is the opportunity to use what if scenarios. So we are going to, in our next phase, in our demand planning process, start working with Atlas tool around what if scenarios, is our next step with Atlas.
Mm-hmm. And Matt, what do you think you could bring to the table to them in the future? What more can you do for Myers?
Absolutely. So as Jeff mentioned, what if is a great next step in terms of their roadmap. And as they continue to look forward, areas of opportunity that Myers, like a lot of companies, can take advantage of is moving from several what if scenarios to many scenarios to understand how their supply chain reacts under uncertainty, disruptions, and different ranges of volumes of demand and even supply certainty. And so that would really be once we get past what if, the next level that I think would be very valuable.
Mm-hmm. Future iterations of the John Galt solution. I'm thinking maybe AI, stuff like that might be more bells and whistles on the solution. Do you see that as bringing that to them as well?
Absolutely. So two things. Number one, is I had mentioned that stress testing of the supply chain. We do that through our AI. So we use Markov decision process and Q learning. And what that does is really evaluate the value and understand the uncertainty at each step of the decision making. And so that AI does a lot more than traditional what if and provides a lot of insight. And then we tie in simulation with that so you can understand what happens as these different elements of supply chain happen, because disruptions don't happen in a vacuum. Demand goes up and a disruption occurs. Demand goes up and you have a supply issue. So you really need AI to go through and do the number of simulations and learn and come up with the best policies and configuration of your supply chain. And then another area for AI is on the demand planning side. So Myers came in with, like a lot of companies, not a very mature planning in terms of demand planning process. And so bringing in additional information that we can use with causal factors, things that look at the cost of resin and the amount of capital that companies have to spend that they would use to invest and buy products from Myers would be another great way to improve predictions.
Jeff Baker of Myers Industries and Matt Hoffman of John Galt Solutions. Thank you so much for telling your story today. Really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Bob.